Another one. Here it is. Round three. Round three of the New York Winter IM tournament I was in. So round two was the best game I played basically in my life at this point. Jeez. If you missed that analysis, boy, make sure you go check out round two analysis where I beat my first GM over the board ever. Was beating Mark Paragua in the King's Indian Defense, right? KID, super tactical, called Super Saiyan Tao. Shout out to Grandfather Tao. This one, actually, today is actually called Bro, Take It. Bro, Take It. Bruh. That's what this one's called, Bro, Take It. So, all right, let's see what this is. So, I'm playing Nico Chasing. Nico Nasty. He's strong, right? He's real strong. I know. I didn't already got the profile. I got the scouting report. I did my thing. I ran the files, right? I ran the files. I know what he played. We already know. Okay, cool. Let's go. I go E4, right? E4 for the score. He goes C5. I've been having fun against the Sicilian these days, actually, and stuff like that. I'm not telling y'all none of my Russian hyperbolic chamber training prep, but having fun on both sides of the Sicilian. E4, C5. And after C5, well, here we go. Now, y'all know me for playing C3 Sicile for the kill. It's a very big thing that we like to play here. In fact, I'm going to use command course here in a second. And actually, if you're watching from YouTube, you will be able to get the, you'll see in the description the C3 Sicilian, right? So I'm gonna put course right here, boom. Right, that's my C3 Sicilian course, okay? I did drop a course on the C3 Sicilian. One of my favorite openings to play is C3 Sicile for the absolute kill, my guy. One time, saber on. All right, so with that being said here, right? After the C5 move, you know, you're expecting C3, but I hit him with this. Y'all ready for this? D4! Yeah. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. It's time to go. So Smith Morra, I've been having fun with this lately and some other stuff. So I played D4 here, right? So after D4, and then bang, C takes D4, right? I go C3. This is Smith Morra. He doesn't take the extra pawn. I'm so mad. I'm like, bro, take the pawn. Please take the pawn, bro. Please take the pawn. Please take the pawn. Please take the pawn. Please take the pawn. And he plays knight f6. And I'm like, dang, bro. All right, so we still could go Morra wise anyway. So I go E5, knight D5. After the knight D5 move, I do follow up with knight to F3. And after knight F3 here, D6. Now, what can happen after D6 is I can actually take back and go back into C3 Sicilian territory. Literally, I could take right now, and after knight C6, we are by transposition into an Alapin or a C3 Sicile for the kill, like we like to call it here. But here in the Morra, in the world of Morra, you can still go Morra and Gambit style, attacking chess, open up, sack first, think later, shout out to Grandfather Tao style of play. When you play moves like this, instead of taking on D4, you play bishop to C4. And you hit the knight and you say, go ahead, I'm waiting for you to take this second pawn. Please, my guy, take the second pawn. So after bishop to C4, the knight is attacked. He moves it back to B6. Now, what do you think you do here? Is white, guys. He goes knight to B6. And he moves the knight back to B6. It is white to move. What do you do? What do you do in this position? Bishop to B2. That's, you know what, Slim Doc? I'm not even going to wait here. Come catch this L real quick. Garbage. Yeah. Garbage. Disgusting. Disgusting. All right, bishop B3. Yeah, you can't even go bishop B2. Bishop takes F7. See, yeah, Slim Doc. Yeah, you early today. Bishop takes F7. Guard the bishop. B3. Okay. And we Tate play Italia. That's my guy. Shout out to Tate. Okay. Right. We need command for relatives. Grandfather Tao, Uncle Deveresk. Yeah, you're right. Actually, you need to send me a Discord message for that so I can update that. Garbage. Funny, Tony. Let's ask the active. All right. So, all right, guys, here. So, in fact, I was definitely considering bishop takes F7. Boy. Garbage. Garbage. There you go, Tony. Tony says he liked the garbage button. So look, bishop takes F7. I was for this. But here's why it doesn't work. Watch this. After king takes, knight G5 check, right? And then if he goes king, now here, if he goes king E8, I mean, this is still it's slightly weird. I have E6 now. And now this is crazy. The knight's coming into F7. I also have queen F3. Let's say he goes H6. Well, first off, queen H5 is mate. So get this man off the board. Come on, dog. This is a family channel. All right. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is gross. Let's get that off the screen, please, for the underage. So now H6 is not a thing, right? But, you know, knight C6, queen F3, maybe? I was thinking, like, how do I get in here? right? And there's mating sequences, all kind of stuff. But all right, look at this. I thought, I'm like, okay, king e8, I got some stuff. But what about king g8? Now after king g8, I looked at this line. Watch this, e6. If e6, I was looking at something like, let's say he goes, you know, queen e8, for instance. Queen e8 to cover the square. I go queen f3. And if he goes h6, he blunders mates. Oh my goodness. He blunders mates. Check. And mate with the pawn. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. I was ready for this. It's over 9,000. I was ready for this. I was ready for this. Bro, this is gross. This is so cool. But this wasn't going to happen. This wasn't going to happen. So I went back. And this just wasn't going to happen like this. In fact, what he could do is, well, after queen e8, queen f3, everything's done when he plays g6. And now I'm out here looking crazy. There's nothing I can do about this. Like, I can't do anything. I have nothing developed. h6 is probably coming, like, and this looks all fine and dandy, but this is absolute garbage. Garbage? This is garbage, bro. So this is not going to work at all. So I discarded the idea. At the end of the day, I did want to sack that boy and, like, you know, go crazy. But I moved it back to b3. I had to. So he played knight to c6, still following book here. I take, he takes, and then I go castle, right? And castle with the idea, guys, this getting, I mean, I'm giving y'all some Russian training files right now. So you're welcome. Some Russian training files. What happens here is, let's say, for instance, bishop g4 is going to be terrible, right? So you have bishop takes f7 here. That's the automatic. Loose pieces drop off. Shout out to Chess Kid, right? Or loose pieces lose games or whatever. This piece is loose, meaning undefended. Tactics on it immediately. So you're looking crazy out here. So don't even do it. And if you take here, I actually can play queen e2 right now. Queen e2, not caring about nothing, with the idea, if you take this one, I mean, yeah, you up them pawns, but if you move anything, if you breathe wrong, if you think wrong, if you pick up your pen the wrong way to write down your move, you about to lose this game. Like, it doesn't matter, right? You're going to get in a lot of trouble, right? With rook to d1, knight c3, knight b5s, I mean, everything, you're getting mated very, very quickly. So you have to be careful of this. I mean, many people actually capture the queen, or they take back here when you can actually gambit a second pawn and play queen to e2 with the idea of keeping the queens on. Knight takes c3, knight b5, rook d1, bishop f4, mates everywhere. There's no way black's defending this. And you have to be very, 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 very strong to defend this. And even then, it takes very accurate precision, etc. So after castles, he goes bishop f5. And Nico, very strong, was not about none of that action. He was not. He's like, nah, bro, I'm not. Don't give Canty them kind of games. Bishop f5, right? He just develops a piece. Principal chess makes sense. Get the piece out. All right, chat, it's on you. I remember looking at this in my files, and I was like, okay, on bishop f5, I'm supposed to do this idea, right? So you want to always think in plans and ideas. But that being said, white to move here. What do you actually do here? You know, as a fan. Oh, wait, yeah, casting is Barbados. Right, that's right. Draining day. Yeah, this is not that. Make that second bullet any day. Yeah, bishop takes f7. That will be a sacrifice I'll do any day and all day. So in this position, you got a few moves. What would you do, guys? What is your move in this position? We have knight to g5 from Leon. Knight takes d4. a4 from Pepper Picante. Checkmate him. That'd be great. That would be great. But the pieces aren't ready, fortunately, for that. C takes d4. Bishop to g5, interesting. C takes d4 from Tani. Knight takes d4 is best. C takes d4 if you're pushing isolated pawns. All right, cool. So here is the order of moves. Rookie 1, very nice. So in fact, move number 1 is knight takes d4 on the engine. Runner Jeff in the building. Let's go. Chef Jeff. What up, bro? Knight takes d4 is a move. Number 2 is rookie 1. And then next is C takes d4. Now, C takes d4 is the move I'm not the biggest fan of. And here, let me actually tell you guys, you want to think in plans more than the moves, right? So a plan here, right? My plan here from studying and understanding, first off here, I can't take and have the isolated pawn. This is totally fine, but I have to play obviously aggressive. I'm playing with d5, knight c3, and he can castle really quickly. My goal here, though, is to try to stop him from castling as fast as possible. Or I make him, when he does castle, he has huge pressure on his position. Huge pressure, right? So watch this. I go knight takes d4 because it clears the way for the queen f3 square. Why is queen f3 important? Because a lot of times it hits the bishop here, it hits f7, g4 might be a possibility. You also hit across the board that way, and bishop f4 hits the queen, and knight to c3 with the knight b5 option there. Again, the rooks come to the center. If he's not quick enough and he doesn't castle, you know, like, you gotta be quicker than that. Like, y'all remember that commercial, like, you need to be quick right now, or it's a wrap. You know, you're gonna be, I can draw more arrows, right? I've learned a lot from Hikaru here, right? So knight takes d4. After knight takes, he takes back. I take on d4, and instead of going e6, he went the g6 route, which I kind of understand here, because like e6, my goal here was to play queen f3, and if bishop e7, I was going to, well, actually, this is already hanging, by the way, but probably play knight c3 and bishop f4, and just try to really attack him, and maybe even thrust these. But he went the g6 route, which is a little bit different. After c takes d4, he went g6, right? So after g6, I first go rook e1, because I'm going to pressure him. When he goes bishop g7, I went with this move right here, bishop g5. So now I'm hitting the e7 pawn, which is really, really nice, right? Okay, so I'm hitting e7, and now he goes bishop f6, and now let's find a sequence of moves here, guys. Now keep the pressure up. Your goal here is to try to keep the king in the center as long as possible, and if you can't do that, then you need pressure. You need to increase the pressure in this position. It is white to move. What do? Like a g6 feeling, so fly like a g6. Thanks, Jake. That's what g6 makes you feel like, right? Yeah, I like pushing pawn g6. You know, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. 360 magnetic. Thanks for that, bro. Bishop h6. Okay, bishop h6. Nice, guys. Bishop h6 is. We got an f4. It's Herbert. Bishop h6. Okay. Okay. Queen e2. Bishop a4. Interesting. Checking. Queen e2 from Cardiac. Okay, queen e2 is a 100%. Okay, and 1,000 times. You just hang in the bishop. You know, your bishop is like Cardiac. Your bishop is hanging right now. So if you play queen e2, I'm going to just take this bishop, sign the score sheet, right? And I'm going to sign it. I already won. I'm going to fill it out and have you sign it before the game is over. If you play queen e2. Bishop h6. Okay. Bishop takes f6. Check with the bishop, then take the knight. It is possible. The problem here, let's look at this one. Bishop a4, the problem here is you give up a strong bishop. And when he goes bishop d7, you out here looking crazy right now. This don't look good at all. You got, first off, I mean, now you actually have to do something. You forgot this is hanging too, actually. So this don't look that good. And then the bishop's here too. And you got an isolated pawn. Let's get this off the screen for somebody to get hurt. You know, looking at this. Like, that just hurts to look at. Terrible. So it does not look good at all. So after bishop f6, we take on f6. Bishop takes f6. After queen takes, the follow-up, queen f3. I'm attacking b7. I'm going to take this if you let me take it. Because I'm going to put pressure here. And yes, I'll fight him in an equal position because my pieces are more active. Activity trumps material most times. That's from Big Gary. Shout out to Gary Kasparov. Right, so, you know, it's good to know that. Pieces are active. So I'm trying to play knight c3, queen takes b7, hit e7, stuff like that. So I go queen f3, and it kind of rattled him in a way because he played rook b8, which I did not expect him to play rook b8. So I'm like, oh, this is my chance. This my chance, fam. This my chance, big fella. So after rook b8, I take the chance. And what is that chance, chat? What do you do here? It's time to go. I'm like, bet. Well, let's go. So I went into the tank, the think tank, that is. It looks like a blunder, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like a blunder? It looks like one. It really does. But in fact, it's not a blunder. It's not a blunder, and black is fine. It takes some precision, but black is fine. But it looks like a blunder. G4, we have D5, or rook D8 is my chance to make. Queen E3. Knight C3, simple development from Leon Stan. Very nice. Knight to C3, Knight C3 again, simple development. Guys, all of these moves are great, man. Everybody got good moves there. That's good. This is what I went for. I went for G4 for the score. Let's go. Yeah, it's on the board. Yeah. Yeah, dog. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the board right now. Do something about this. G4, it's here right now. It's here right now. If you move the bishop, you lose. You literally lose. Like, you cannot move the bishop at all. You can't, right? And the obvious reason, if bishop d7, queen takes f6, and I mean, right, you sign the score sheet now. You know, people at home watching this on the DGT board, like, you know, you need to get out of here fast. Like, resign before I take the queen, so you don't have to. Still, no, nobody got to see this one. You don't want nobody to see this one back home. Queen g5, correct. Tanya is correct. Queen g5 is the move. Now, if queen g5 though, if queen g5, right, I play h3, and this is what I played. I played h3. Now, what do you think he should play here? What do you think black should play in this position? I played h3. I'm expecting this. I already calculated this. So after g4, queen g5, I play h3. Is black to move. Now remember, I'm on his head right now, right? Because he still can't move the bishop because there's pressure here right now. There's still pressure, right? There's a pressure everywhere. So what do? I see h5 and castles. Don't Cry Wolf is like, h5, go at his head. I'm on your head, boy. I'm on your head. Queen d2, bishop take, queen d2 is out. Queen d2. Queen d2. Garbage. Queen d2. Wow. Yeah, queen d2. That's one. That is a move. That is a move. I mean, it's a move. But we ain't gonna talk about nothing else. But it is a move, though. Okay, bishop e6. Right. All right. Okay, so h5s. So the h5s, guys, that's nice. h5s. Man. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Disgusting. Not a move. Sign the score sheet. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I caught you. Yeah, I got you. I got you. And you know what's funny? He almost touched it too. I remember he looked at it and he did, like, he hovered over it. And I was like, oh my God. In my head, I'm like, bro, push it. Push the pawn, push the pawn, push the pawn, bro, push the pawn, bro, push the pawn, bro, push the pawn. And then he didn't. And then he, like, took his hand off and kept thinking. I'm like, oh, he didn't touch the piece, so he didn't take his hand off. But he, like, hovered over it. And then he looked again. And I'm like, he about to move this pawn. Like, I'm like, you know, because queen g3 wins on the spot. Queen g3 wins on the spot. I'm hitting the rook and I'm hitting the bishop and I'm breaking the pin at the same time. So I was waiting for him to play h5 and he didn't. He didn't play it. I was like, dang, I was about to get you right here, right now. Game over, starting the game. So, from Kansas, what's up? Andrew was good. So I was waiting, but he did not play h5. In fact, he castled, and I'm like, dang, man, I almost got him with the little 211. Jeez, almost got him with the 2-piece, but he got up out of there. Okay, so after you castle, I still go, actually, no, I went knight c3. Allowing h5 anyway, because I knew this was going to get crazy, and I wanted this to get crazy. He played h5, and after h5, I thought about queen g3. I thought about a few lines. Let's look at this. Queen g3, and I thought about after h takes, I was thinking about f4. Nuts, right? f4 here. In many cases, because I didn't want to just give this pawn up. If I take back, he just, like, I mean, we get this kind of position, which is cool. I think I'm fine, obviously, rook on the 7, but this is not enough. This is not enough, right? You've been streaming for 6 years? No, actually, I made my account 6 years ago, but I've been streaming for 3 years, actually. I'm streaming for 3 years. Tiny. So after h6, g4, f4. f4, I was thinking about this, and after queen f6, I was going to take this way, and then I was going to let him take here with check. I was going to play king g2. I looked at maybe bishop d7 so he can go here, and then I thought I would go rook here. Rook d1, and then I thought he would put his queen on c5, or even check me first. Doesn't really matter. But then after queen c5, I was thinking, how do I get this to work? It just doesn't feel like I'm crushing yet. I mean, it feels like, in fact, this is going to turn on me. So I didn't go this route. And I was really trying to get this to work. So I was also looking at after h takes g4, playing h4. Maybe this is an idea. But even after queen f6, still, this is still strange. I didn't really get anything out of it. So I didn't like that at all either. With the queen g3 option, I also looked at... I think that was, I looked at h4 after queen g3, though. Different. Okay, so here I played knight e4, though. After consideration, I played knight e4. He captures, and then he goes king g7. Here, I'm like, bro, I got this, man. Like, I mean, this feels great as white, right? Like, I had h4. I really tried to get h4 to work. I was trying, maybe, do I play queen g3? Do I play h4? Do I double the rooks? Do I play rook e5? And the move order and the timing matters. Move order and timing matters. So I looked at, for instance, h4. And if h4, queen takes h4, king g2 was my idea. But I also was looking at g takes h5. If g takes h5, I see queen. Well, obviously, this is here. This is a thing. But he has this weird check, right? And I'm like, do I go rook g4? Like, what the heck do I even do? Because rook g4, he takes on h5. And this is not what I really wanted. So it's kind of strange. And if queen takes, well, then, I mean, takes. this still isn't like, I mean, his king can get out and he's active and like weird. This is just weird. So I'm like, how is h4 not working? So even here, I tried to do king g2, but then queen g5. And if I try to slide the rook over, nothing really happened at all. And oh, and he actually has this. Look at this. In many cases, if I'm not careful, he plays f5. What the heck is that move? I kept seeing this move, and I'm like, yo, he can play f5. What do I do about this? And if I play rook f4, he can hit me with this. Oh my goodness. Oh. Do you see this? F takes g4, and I resign, right? I resign because the rook's hanging, your queen's hanging. Like, what happened in the sequence of moves? Like, that's crazy. So I was like, man, this is kind of scary, actually. So after king g7, I actually just doubled the rooks. Rook a to e1. Right, just because I was really annoyed by f5. I was like, well, if you want to play f5, you're now going to be checked if you play f5. What about rook e5? Yeah, if the rook e5 option there, let me actually show that again. h4. No. Where's the f5 option? These lines are so long. I'm just trying to find where to click that at. f5. Here? No, here. Interesting. It was just here. There's so many lines here, guys. This is how chess. You be getting lost in the lines. You be getting lost in the lines, bro. Like literally, that's how chess is. Okay, so let's just fast forward back here. Then we'll try to find that again. But here, I go 94, takes, and he goes king g7, right? So after the h4 option, what was I looking at here? Takes it was an f5, right? King g2 here, and then rook h1, f5. Yeah. So here, if f5, rook e5, then he could just take. I mean, he could literally just take with the queen if he wanted to, but you could also play knight d7 in many cases. Then you have to like go here. It's kind of like, this is just not what I wanted. I'm not winning, right? I'm trying to justify the move now. As opposed to it working, I'm trying to like, well, it works because I think it works. Like, that's not good. You want to be sure if you can. But rook a to e1. Rook a to e1, and after rook a to e1, e6, right? So he plays e6 to block it up here, and I felt good here. I felt good in this position, right? White to move, guys. What do you do? I felt really good here. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go, Nico. I'm feeling good. Let's get it. Lost in Dark Forest, right? Noble Logitech. Ooh, that's fire, bro. That's good, man. Shout out to them. Dope win. Thanks, OMD. Thank you for that. Yeah, so it's white to move here, guys. White to move. I'm still in a pin. You got a few options and a few obvious options as well. Tiny with rook e5. That's right. Does this mean you'll be playing KID again? Hey, man, it's looking bright for KID. It's looking very bright for KID after that win. I mean, and then wait till y'all see the next analysis after this round. King h2. That is a move. King h1. All right. Queen c3 and then d4. I did that option fails to knight d5 though. That's a very good option. I did consider it, but as soon as I saw knight d5, I was like, yeah, I don't even care no more about it. It doesn't even work. Queen d2, it looks annoying, but it's not really that annoying because you have rook e2. And I mean, if he's going to gobble these pawns, he's probably going to get mated, right? So that's not going to be good. Rook e5, I definitely consider, but I didn't like queen f6, and I was just, I mean, he could go queen f6 and I go g5 later. I actually just chose queen g3 just to see what happens. Maybe I have f4 in here as well. Nice waiting move. He plays knight d7, and here's where I was like, bro, I got him. Bro, I got you, bro. He played h4 and then queen a5, and then right here is where I had him. Right here is where I had him. I had him right here. This is where you have him, saber on, you know, you ready for the man, right? Saber out, start swinging that boy, you know, and it's time to go to work. And he go queen a5, and what do I do? In fact, what do you do, Chad? What are you supposed to do? White to move here. What do we do? It's not that easy. But you know you got something here. Tiny with rook e5. You know you got something here, chat, right? Y'all know you got something. And this, you know, one of these games, like this is good. Why it's good to have coaching, because after working with my coach after the tournament, an area after this move, I looked at this game again and I was like, wow, I now see what my coach was talking about. And that area to work on, which is calculation, basically was that area. Is working on calculation, so I have methods to work on it now, which can't reveal, of course, obviously, because that's Russian training school, hyperbolic chamber training. obviously. But Rook e5 and all these other moves, you got G takes H5. I mean, you got all these other looking moves, maybe, right? I see F4, Bishop E6 on the board as well, somewhere. Rook e5, G takes H4, and Rook G4 from Terry Bird. Okay. Hey, Rook e5s. Who's your coach? I'll tell you in a message. Yeah, it's private though. It is private. H5, Pawn D5. Okay. All right, guys. So the move, number one on the engine, the move that wins, the move that I'm supposed to play that I really didn't calculate, put enough time in. Again, another thing that my coach was like, yo, put more time into it, right? Is the move D5. This wins. This wins. D5 is supposed to be the move. And if E takes D5, right, I go Rook E7, and there's just constant pressure here. Constant pressure. And I mean, I felt this. I felt it. Probably this could be winning. But I felt, and if, that's a word that you want to do, don't want to have in your vocabulary a lot. You really want to get that out. And I'm working on that as well. Felt, it needs to be calculation, and it needs to be accurate calculation. Does it work or does it not? Feeling, no. Does it work or does it not? Right? Calculation is the answer to that question. Here, of course, calculation would work, and it would work out here. But again, I felt, which is a word you don't want to really use as much, as you get better as a player, D5 was not the route to go. What I chose was the route that Tiny chose as well, was Rook E5. Let's go! Ah! Sacrificing a rook, bro. I mean, like sacrificing exchange right now. You feeling like a big dog would because a big dog could, When you play Rook E5 and you sacrifice an exchange, you need to be accurate and you need to be correct. Now, I was accurate up until the point where I wasn't. And what I mean by that is sometimes, I remember Ben Feingold, shout out to Big Ben. Ben Feingold said back in the day, he was coaching one of my old coaches back in the day. This was before I was like even expert. I remember he was coaching a coach. I was sitting in on a lesson. He said, what he said, one of the things you never want to be surprised at the board. You never want to be surprised when a combination happens and they play something that you didn't see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. When they play something you ain't see and you like, whoa, I didn't see that. So watch the sequence. Rook E5. This is what I saw. If Rook Knight takes, he takes, and I thought I had him. Any other move he makes is probably Garbo. But except this move here, Queen C7, right? Queen C7 is very nice because there's a hidden gem behind this. Very hidden gem, right? I take on H5, and I'm like, bro, it's a wrap. If you do anything out of the ordinary right now, all of this is going to fall, it feels like. All of this is going to fall. And I kept seeing this. Of course, I should have spent more time. But then he hit me with this move right here. And I was like, oh, snap, I didn't see that. He played it. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? Chat, what do you think the move is? What do you think the move is right here that he played that I was like, I did not see that. I didn't see that. It was ridiculous. It was like, how is this even possible right now? In fact, the chat is finding it. It is F6. He played F6, and I'm like, what on earth is happening right now in this game? And I was like, then I'm thinking to myself, I should have spent more time, number one. Number two, I should have spent more time calculating, which is something me and my coach found out in my games. We'll calculate more accurately. And a system that we now have in place in my studies, in my homework to implement in training to learn. Calculating better, just better calculation will save you from getting in positions like this. Now, this position is not lost. In fact, it's actually equal, but you have to find the sequence of moves. Now, watch this. I mean, I'm telling y'all, look, I've been training very hard. I've been putting in a lot of work. So I was impressed with the find that I found here. Let's see if you guys can find it as well. So I take on G6. He goes King H8. I go Rook C5. He goes Queen F4. And First off, let's first go back, right? And not move too fast here. Queen takes King H8. If you do anything crazy here right now, you are going to block with your whole face on national television. Get this man off the board. Rook G8 is about to be a wrap. So you need to be aware of this right now. So you're like, all right, let me check him. And then Queen H7. And this is looking bad, actually. You now have to trade. You got two pieces hanging. Takes. And I looked at this first. Rook takes and then Rook G8. And I'm like, wait a second. This doesn't feel, actually, not even Rook G8. I was thinking King H6 even. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is drawn, but shoot, hold on. This don't feel like how I wanted it to feel. Like, I thought I was winning. This don't feel like winning no more, Yeah, this is gonna be tough, right? And you could botch this actually. So I was not a fan of that. I was not a fan of this, so I didn't go that route. After he took, I went rook c5 with the intention of if he goes queen h7 now, well, I'm going to take this. This is my idea. Queen h7, I take. I'm going to take on e6 first. So now I stop the check. If he goes king h6, cool. Whatever you want. Take as many as you like, my guy. Go ahead. Now I got some real compensation here, and I feel a lot better about this position being down in exchange than I did with the pawn on d4. So this is the line I was looking at here, and I was like, maybe I could hold with this a lot better, and even run this pawn to f5. And like, I'm definitely playing for 2 results. I'm not losing. I'm either drawing or winning this game, right? So this was my plan. So I play rook c5, and then he plays queen f4 very confidently. And when he played queen f4, he missed this move right here. Let's see if you can find it, chat. First off, queen f4. Queen takes is a move. Rook g8. He's holding h6. How do you hold? How do you hold? And I did it. Because I've been doing a lot of tactics lately with a lot of the Russians in the hyperbolic chamber. Sheesh. White to move. White to move. Where do you go? White to move. Rook c7. Okay, all right. Rook c7. Oh, man, look at y'all. Rook c7. Look at that utter garbage out there. I mean, just disgusting. Garbage. Queen takes c7. Oh, or even rook g8. Even just rook g8. Bishop c2. Bishop e6. Rook g5. h6. Mr. Ruffles, thanks for the follow. You go home after that move. Right, knock the pieces off the board. Oh, man. Yeah. All right, guys, here it is. In fact, Woodpusher was the only one to find it. It was rook g5. Rook g5. What you mean? Rook g5 on the board. And I played it instantly. After he played queen f4, I played rook g5 instantly and got up and walked around. Bruh. Your move, big fella. Your move, right? I've been doing a lot of tactics lately. You see this nasty move, rook g5. Disgusting. Absolutely gross. Oh my goodness. What is this? That's right. Canty been spending a lot of time with the Russians. Bruh. Shout out to my coach. After rook g5, right? He takes. Because he kind of has to, because I'm mating. Everything's mate. So he has to take it. After takes, I have the sequence check. King g8, bishop takes e6. Nuts. This is nasty. Bro. This is nuts. I was so impressed with my own play here. I was like, dang, who is this? Oh my goodness. Wow, this is crazy. I didn't even know I could do that. Right? And then he played rook f7, right? And then I check him here on g6. He could go to the corner here. King h8, and after king h8. What? Why does this say E? It says that black is slightly better after this. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, I guess it is engine play, but, you know, slightly better. But what Nico chose was king f8. He chose king f8. And after king f8, I took on f7, right? Boom. And I'm like, and we like, oh, just take this. But I saw this in my calculations. After queen takes, I have queen check, and now I'm winning. Unbelievable when I get the rook back. It's because of that brain fuel. Shout out to the sponsors. Canty 15. Oh my goodness. It's ridiculous. Right. Ridiculous. So, but I saw this. I saw all this. So when I took on f7, after bishop takes f7, okay? After bishop takes f7, he does this. He checks me, and he offers me a draw. Right here, he's like, draw. And I'm like, I'm looking at the board, and I'm looking at my options. King h2, king h1. These are my options. Everything's basically a perpetual, right? King h2, king h1. He's going to just check me into oblivion. Check. And this is, again, what was the title of the video, right? The title of the video was, Bro, Take It. Bruh. Bro, take it. Take it. Bruh. Take it. Bruh. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. Take the draw. Take the draw. It's a draw. It's nothing to do about it. Don't try to win this. Take the draw. What did I do? I tried to win. I played king f8. And then, now, all of a sudden, after rook c8, I am now like, oh my goodness. Bruh. I'm hurt. I'm hurt out here. I'm hurt right now. I'm sitting here looking at Nico and I'm like, I'm contemplating, no, I can't hit him. I can't throw a piece. I can't swing on him. Like I just can't do that. That is not an option. Don't think about that. Don't flip the table. You can't do that. You can't pour water on the board. You know you can't do that, right? Cool, cool, cool. So then I had to think about chess. Like, well, what do I play here then? If I can't do these moves or these things, then what do I play? What do I play? In fact, I found the only move here. Bishop c4. Jeez! Woo, let's go! Let's go! I find the only move. And in fact, guys, this is I mean, honestly, guys, this was almost brilliant. If it wasn't for it, and I got in like 2 minutes of time trouble here after rook takes, this is actually a perpetual. Let's see if you guys can find it. I find the first check. Boom. Actually, this is a perpetual. He goes king e8. Now, can you find the perpetual? And if you can, oh my goodness, bro, this analysis is amazing because I saw the perpetual, but I saw that his king can run to this side of the board, and when it does, there's something miraculous that happens. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And when I saw the analysis, I almost threw my $1,100 MacBook across the room. But at the same time, I did not, because I did pay $1,100 for that MacBook. But here, after that, can you find the perpetual? Check here, guys. Okay. All right. Queen e5. I see queen h8, right? There is a perpetual here, but there's only one real way to do it. In fact, there's two, but this queen g6 is the hard one. Queen g6 is the very hard one. This is a perpetual too. In fact, guys, the perpetual is queen h8. Oh my goodness. It's insane. It's insane. Let me show you this line, right? So I'm like, okay, let's say he run away. Let's say he runs away. He's going to try to run to this side of the board, right? So if he runs away, he goes here. Queen g7, right? And the goal here is for me to try to pick off the rook with check. So, the goal here is like if he does something stupid, like, I check him here, and then how would I pick off the rook in a way? Like here. This is a perfect example of picking off the rook. This is my goal, right? But he can run towards the rook by dodging the checks. So check, he goes king c6. I check him here, right? He goes king b5. Now watch this. If he goes king b5, he's losing. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my goodness. You gotta be kidding me. How is he losing? How is he losing? Because queen takes g5 check. And after takes, he can't stop both the pawns. I couldn't believe this. Chess is a ridiculous game. Chess is a ridiculous game. And I didn't see all of this, obviously, right? But I thought I was just lost. I didn't see all of that. That's crazy. To be able to see all of this is nuts. Chess is what a game. And then I have the third pawn here, and his king's too far away. It's too much. It's too much going on. It's too much going on. So he had to take the perpetual by going here. And after check, then here, and then check, and then it's just a perpetual. In fact, you got to watch out for these again, right? I mean, that's crazy, right? That is nuts. So what I did, and this is where I went wrong, is I knew that if I go queen e5, I'm just going to try to check him, and hopefully I get the rook. But queen e5 does not work. So after queen e5 check, he went king f7. This is the only losing check. And then after queen d5, queen e6 takes. And it went like this, right? So king g8. And I just checked him. And after this, I mean, it's a wrap. I'm just down in the rook here. I'm just down the rook, literally. And the game's like over. Like over. And it ended like something like this. I don't remember. Somehow, and I think this is even wrong, because the queen was down here. I don't remember how this happened, but I ended up losing this game. I just ended up resigning. Because I just lost this game. But I had a perpetual. And again, what did I say this? Bro, take it. I could have taken the draw back here. I could have taken the draw way back here. Way back here. He played check. He offered me a draw. I said no. And went king f1 and lost the game. Right? And when was this game played? This was my last tournament from last week. So I lost this game. This could have been in half a point that I could have saved, right? Which would give me more points in my overall score here, and extra points as well. So I should have taken a draw here. But the thing here is, you just want to play on. You just always want to play on. And like, I've learned that from David Howell. David Howell has a 2700 course about how he got the 2700 and talks about not trying to take draws and like really trying to push it out. And you will take losses. You will take hard losses. You will take hard losses with this, but you learn, You learn from it, and that's the biggest thing, is the learning part, the learning aspect of it, which is extremely hard to break through. In a point here where I should have just taken the draw, but you learn. You obviously learned that, okay, I have to take the draw. You have to take the draw here, even when you don't really want to, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Keep it moving there. So that's Rook Canty, but always remember, you lose the ones, right? Queen G8, take the rook. No, you're in check right now. That's fine. Right. Yeah, best attitude. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And this was round 3, guys. Make sure y'all sub to the YouTube. See y'all on the next one. Round 4 will be tomorrow.